Snap Studios.
Explore so many ways to save for back to school at Whole Foods Market. Find yellow, low price signs on no antibiotics ever sliced deli meats and organic lunchbox favorites from their 365 brand. We're talking granola bars, bagged apples, and even condiments. Save on dinner with 365 brand wild-caught fish sticks and organic salad kits. Want low prices and the best quality for back to school? Look for 365 by Whole Foods Market.
Okay, so backstage at the hallowed halls of LA's haunted Orpheum Theater, over 2,000 spookters have gathered, waiting on the other side of that curtain, preparing to summon the shadow for Spooked Live. They think they're gonna get one thing, but friends, y'all about to get something else entirely. I am so excited. A woman who is royalty to this Snap Judgment enterprise rolled out the red carpet. She's about to step on the spook stage. No! I will never be able to predict the next word out of her mouth, but I promise, I guarantee, you're gonna love the ride. Now, this story does contain explicit language. A dear friend of mine, Snap fan, Jen Cobber.
I just have to say, I didn't know who was on this show. And when you show up to a gig and there's a CNN correspondent there, I was already spooked. This can't be good. I don't like spooky things. I hate to be... I have been in a dressing room in the bowels of this building listening to music. La, 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 la. I don't like to be scared. Even as a kid, I didn't ever like scary movies. I'm not really Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm more Ghostbusters. Though I do watch a lot of Dateline. Yeah. Like those slasher kind of movies, that blood and guts. I can't take that. Fictionalized horror terrifies me. But actual people dying, I fall asleep to that shit. That's... But I've never liked scary movies. I remember at a slumber party when I was 8 years old, Betsy Rodriguez got us all into a circle, and she started all that light as a feather, stiff as a board, Bloody Mary, Ouija, voodoo, schmadoodle. I don't care for that. It scares me. Anytime that would start, I would just go to sleep. I would often wake up with my hands in bowls of warm water. If you know, you know. If not, we'll move on. I never understood it, though. Like, fine, make me pee. It's your sheet. It was hard to handle those scary movies. I just couldn't do it. Side note, I don't like scary movies so much that when the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer was popular, I was doing a one-woman show at that time that I wanted to title I Know What You Ate Last Summer. I thought it would be funny, and then I was going to parody some scene from the movie, so I sat down to watch the movie. 5 minutes in, I shut that shit off and changed the name of my one-woman show to Indiana Jen and the Temple of Food. I love Indiana Jones. It's the ringtone on my cell phone. So I didn't know what to do, y'all. How am I going to tell a spooky story when I don't like to be spooked? So I called Glynn. I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Glynn says, Jen, it doesn't have to be blood and guts kind of scary. Haven't you ever just been spooked? I was like, ooh, dude. You mean like the time my dog, who is really my grandmother reincarnated, sat at the end of my bed telling me about the presence of extraterrestrials in the greater Los Angeles area? All night long, she just kept being like, I'm telling you, Jennifer, there are space aliens on Wilshire. Glynn was like, that's not quite it. I said, ooh, what about the time we held a seance for a dead squirrel in Paducah, Kentucky with a voodoo priestess? Closer. I got it. What about the time me and my buddy Jeff D cleared a haunted Airbnb of a ghost that looked like ZZ Top? Glynn said, jackpot. Here's what you got to know about my buddy Jeff D. Jeff D looks like the brother I never had, but he's more like the sister I never wanted. He looks just like me, and he is very, very, very gay. He loves Rock Hudson and Judy Garland and Leslie Jordan. I often refer to him as the ghost of homosexuals past. We've known each other since college, and he opens for me all over the country, so we travel together a lot. So one weekend, what had happened was we found ourselves playing at the Stardome Comedy Club in Hoover, Alabama, right outside of Birmingham. I don't mean to brag, but they have 2 Walmarts. One of them has a brand new Arby's inside of it. So naturally, we had our shows on the weekend, so we had gotten there on Tuesday. We were going to spend a few days in an Airbnb there in Alabama and get our laundry done and catch up on our TV shows. This is road life glamour. So we get an Airbnb. The homeowner meets us at the address. It's a little bit outside of the city limits, but it's a big old house. We get there and the owner meets us. Her name is Celeste. And I can't tell if Celeste is a hick or a hippie. She's wearing a tie-dye t-shirt. Hippie. But with overalls. Hick. She has long gray hair. Hippie. But it's in Willie Nelson braids. Hick. She's got her dog with her. Hick. But it's a golden doodle named Bailey. Hippie. Y'all, it's like Hee-Haw meets Woodstock. Or for you millennials, Miley Cyrus. I can't tell what's going on with this woman. But she and the dog start showing us around the place. She shows us the washer and the dryer. She's got some environmentally friendly detergent there for us to use. Thank you, Celeste. Then she shows us the bedrooms, and the dog keeps sniffing around a door. She says, oh, that's the equipment closet. Equipment? Life vests, oars, rackets, that sort of thing for sports. I don't know what about looking at Jeff and I would have made her think to show us the sporting equipment. But I figured it was just part of the tour. And then she says, be careful. There's spirits in the house, but they're mostly friendly. And she laughs, gets into her Subaru Forester, and drives away as Jolene blares in the distance.
Oh, there is more Jen Cobber. When Snap Judgment returns, stay tuned. Here's the truth. It seems like everyone is talking about being burned out. Behind the highlight reels are high-functioning people quietly falling apart, low energy, fragile moods, libido gone, and your little yearly checkups, they aren't giving you the answers or insights you need. I chose function to help find the signals under the symptoms, with tests to measure testosterone, cortisol, vitamin D, magnesium, more, so much more, and it was easy. A couple of short visits to get the fluids, and function puts names and numbers to the crashes no one can see. Because seeking information about what's off is the first step to getting yourself back. Learn more and join using my link, the first 1,000 get a $100 credit toward their membership. Visit functionhealth.com/snap or use gift code SNAP100 at sign up to own your health. For me, my big mistake was accepting that super high interest rate credit card in college and then buying pizza and beer with it. Turns out that wasn't really free money. And later when I needed a car, needed to rent an apartment, those pizzas came back to haunt me. Don't let pizza haunt you. Now, through Chime, you can be better about how you manage your credit scores. Build credit history with everyday purchases and regular on-time payments. Plus, get access to credit tracking tools and personalized tips for a stress-free credit experience. Make everyday purchases count with Chime's secured credit builder Visa credit card. Get started today at chime.com/snap. That's chime.com/snap. Chime. Feels like progress.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Chime checking account required to apply. Money added to Credit Builder will be held in your secured deposit account as collateral and is your Credit Builder card's available to spend amount. This is money you can use to pay off your monthly charges. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
Welcome back to Snap Judgment, the In the Mist episode. We return at once to Jen Cobber on stage for Spooked Live.
So there I am, left with my laundry. Jeff goes to his room. He says he's going to watch a movie. I'm going to get my first load started. I'm separating things there. And Celeste has installed one of those air freshener, the psst. Right, and it's on top of the refrigerator, which I thought was precarious placement for air freshener, but, you know, maybe Celeste likes her smell good at eye level. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but... And the first couple times it's scared. It just comes out of nowhere. So I keep separating my laundry. And then I remember, y'all, I had put a Yoo-hoo in the fridge when we first got there. But I can't find the light. She had shown me the light switches. The lights were on dimmers, right? Finally, the lights come up. I get the lights to come up. And y'all, there's crystals all over this room. And there's a crystal ball in the middle of the room. And at first I'm like, let's play Pee-wee's Big Adventure, you know, in the basement. So I'm getting distracted. I have laundry to do. So I dim the lights back down and I go to the refrigerator to get my Yoo-hoo out. And when I open the fridge and the light of the refrigerator comes on, as I grab it and it closes, the psst happens and I see the outline of a fella. A tall white fella. So I do one of... I don't know any, but I have moves. Though, to be honest, just doing that, I'm a little out of breath. Then I start thinking to myself, this is ridiculous, sending me a male ghost. This is bullshit. I am a short-haired woman. If you want to scare me, son, you best bring your A game. You know what I'm saying? I've been chased by murderers on the purge. I had bloodthirsty demons trying to eat me on American Horror Story. Droids shooting at me on The Mandalorian. You think you gonna come in here, you tall, skinny ZZ Top, and just scare the hell out of me? Damn straight he did. I was scared shitless. I just did the Southern thing and acted like it didn't happen, and kept folding my laundry. And a few minutes later, and I see him again. And I felt something near my shoulder, like his beard, like just... Y'all, I freaked out. I go running into Jeff D's room, and I tap him on the shoulder, and he screams, right? He loses it. I was like, oh my God, what were you watching? He was like, Steel Magnolias. What are you... Shelby was just drinking her juice when you came in. So I explained to him, I said, dude, every time the thing on top of the refrigerator goes, psst, I see a ghost that looks like ZZ Top. So Jeff gets up out of his bed, goes to the kitchen, grabs the thing off the refrigerator and smashes it to the floor. He says, there, I've solved the ghost problem. I said, you didn't solve the ghost problem, you moron. You just took away the only way I could see it. Apparently, you gotta shoot particles at the ghost so you can see it. Jeff says, this is just like Poltergeist, girl. We're gonna have to confront this ghost and usher it out of a portal. A portal? Like a door? Are you saying we gotta get it out the door? Because earlier I had seen it run out the door, but it didn't run out the door, it ran through the door. That's how I knew it was a ghost! He says, come on, you can do it. And then he starts dancing. I said, what the hell are you doing? He said, I'm ushering. So the only thing we can do is arm ourselves with things from the sporting equipment closet. I'm not confronting a ghost in my jammies. And gay people love costumes. We love costumes. So we're each wearing a bright orange life vest and a batting helmet. Jeff's has the little holders for beer cans and straws hanging off of it. He has an oar in one hand and a bat in the other. I'm holding what I later came to find out was a pickleball racket and my cell phone. And Jeff bravely says, I'll go outside and check the perimeter of the house. And I'm like, we're in Alabama. The hell does perimeter mean? He says, I'm gonna check the outside. I said, what if we lose power or something? He says, don't worry. Even if we lose power, your cell phone will still work. If you see anything, call me. I can't see anything, fool. You took away the only way I could with the thing at the seeing it. So I realize I need something if I'm gonna see the ghost to spray at it. And the only thing I have with me is a can of bacon-flavored spray cheese. I had meant to buy the American cheese flavor, but somehow bought a bacon-flavored can, so I was not as attached to it as I would normally be. So I was willing to spray some at the ghost in order to see its outline. So there I am, pickleball racket in one hand, bacon spray cheese in the other. And I see it. I see the shadow of ZZ Top. And I call out to him. You have no place here! And I have spray cheese! And I start to spray the cheese at where I think he is, over and over, and I can see the form lunge towards me, which makes me back the hell up. I'm not... So I back up, but there's spray cheese on the floor, and just then, my cell phone rings. It's Jeff, and he says, I don't see dead people. I was like, I got him right here. I'm spraying the cheese. I'm gonna usher him to the door. I spray more cheese. I lunge again, and now I'm headed towards him when all of a sudden the spray cheese gets the best of me. I flip. I go up 6 feet in the air. I come down. The crystal ball follows me. I take down the curtains with me. I hit the ground and I wake up inside the TV. I'm kidding. Look at this guy. He's like, is she serious right now? I don't know what happened once I hit my head, but I hit my head and I woke up the next day to Celeste opening the door to the scene that lay before her. Curtains down, crystal ball shattered, spray cheese everywhere. Jeff and I still wearing life vests. I am still gripping a pickleball racket for dear life. And the dog is licking spray cheese off of everything. And Celeste just looks at me and says, what happened? I said, girl, we seen ZZ Top. He was here. I think he had a message for us. And that's when the dog said, did he mention the aliens on Wilshire?
More Spooked Live when we return. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Snap Judgment. My name is Glynn Washington, and right now, I've got a special story for Spooked Live from yours truly. Spooked. As a kid, I love going to my grandmother's church. There's singing, there's dancing, and if you're lucky, somebody's gonna catch the Holy Ghost. It's fabulous. My parents' church, not a lot of music, no dancing, no Holy Ghost. I don't dig it as much. At my granny's church, my grandmother, she wins the unofficial old lady church contest each and every week with the biggest, most outrageous hat on her head that you ever did see. If you sit behind my grandmother, you ain't gonna see jack. Nothing. And you better not say nothing neither. She give you one of these here. Huh? After church, we go back to my grandmother's place. And usually, there's already a line. Because my grandmother's special. People come from miles around to seek her advice. And because I am her second favorite grandchild, I'm special too. After Granny gets her relax on, after she has a glass of lemonade, after she gives me that look, I have a job. My job as a little kid is to go out to the sidewalk and escort a grown person up the porch, in the living room, through the kitchen, back out to the stoop. My grandmother waits. See, if the doctors run out of options, if your preacher's got no answers, if you have nowhere else left to turn, the last place people go is my grandmother. And on this day, the woman, she says, Mrs. They always call her either Mrs. or ma'am. Mrs., my man done left me. I know your man. You should thank your lucky stars. No, Mrs., sometimes he just runs with the wrong crowd. He is the wrong crowd. Mrs., I need him back home. I need him back with me. Well, you bring a picture like I told you? Yes. She takes this picture out of her billfold. My grandmother snatches it up. She takes a match and lights it on fire. She collects the ash in this square of aluminum foil. And then she adds a dash of High John the Conqueror oil and a pinch of Queen Elizabeth root. Boy, what'd I do that for? The oil for the power, the root for the heart. That's my baby grandboy right there. She ties it off with twine and hands it back to the woman. Put that under his pillow. He'll be back in 3 days. But don't blame me for what happened after that. Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mrs. I go back out, and this time, I get this big fella. He's in this work suit. He's got boots on. I take him back. Ma'am, my partner's stealing money out the till. Did you bring $1 from the register? Yes. He hands it over, and she sets it down in front of her. Boy, go get me some of those sweet potatoes off the stove. I put it on the fine china. I bring it out to her, and she sets it on top of the dollar. She pours whiskey on top of that. And she pushes it like she's having company for dinner. She closes her eyes, listens. Listen. Your partner's going on a long trip. He won't be back. Thank you, missus. Thank you. I go back out and I see this skinny man, tall, and he's got this blue suit on. He goes to shake my hand. I don't want to shake his hand. I lead him back to the house and he's looking all around. Take him back to my grandmother, and I know I have to watch him close around my granny. Instead of sitting down, he's looking everywhere, standing up really, really close next to my grandmother. And then finally, he bends down and he whispers in her ear. She looks up at him. I'm sorry, I can't help you today. And it looks like he's just been barely holding it together. And when she says that he can't do it anymore, he goes boneless. Please, ma'am, please. I'm sorry, please. I can't do anything for you. I take him back out and he's pale. His eyes blank. I take this grown man outside of our house. And when I close the door, he said, let me just go talk to her one more time. Let me just explain something to her. Granny says she can't help you. Granny says she can't help you. He walks to the sidewalk, turns around, spits. Witch! They often use that word. The one she can't help. And the one she can. She sets me to work later on with a feather duster, dusting that place. And she has these candles that I've seen since I was tiny. The apostles, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Each of them, their faces turned upwards toward glory. And I'm dusting them, and I noticed for the first time that there's some other candles behind these ones. And they've got faces I've never seen before. And instead of looking up, they're looking straight ahead. Some of them are holding weapons, others are holding herbs. They've got color on their face. Granny, who this? Oh, baby. Jesus is love. But you know, Jesus works for free. Jesus gives you everything you want, but Jesus takes his sweet time. These here, they come quick in a hurry. But baby, you got to pay. Later, I'm at church. My parents' church, next to Pops. And the preacher's building up a head of steam. Brethren, some of y'all think we playing games here. Some of y'all think you're going to have it both ways. You think you're going to have your Ouija boards and your tarot cards. And you're going to come into God's church and sit down like you ain't done nothing with the devil. Well, I got some news for you. I got some news for you right now. Lord don't appreciate it. The Lord sees, the Lord knows. And you say, preacher, ain't you going too far? Ain't you saying things that aren't so? Well, brethren, I speak for the Lord. I speak for the Lord because I know the Lord's book and I want you to know it too. Turn, if you will, to Exodus 22:18. Pops is quick on the draw. He knows his Bible. I will read it real slow so you can hear it in the back. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. You hear me? Pops looks at me like, I told you so. I can barely breathe. When I next see my grandmother, I just ask her, Granny, are you a witch? She looks at me a long time. Ain't no such things as witches. Well, Mom and Daddy say, your mom and daddy say a lot of things. But you got to understand something. Boy, you are far too young to have secrets, but you got to keep some secrets. You see, you can't tell everybody everything you see. You can't tell everybody everything you know. You understand me? Boy, you understand me? Yes, sir. When I go to sleep, folks don't know I hear him argue with my auntie. Because he's my boy, that's why. I know what they're arguing about. I'm husking corn with at Granny's. I got me some more questions. Granny, why didn't you help that man? Boy, you saw it plain as I do. You know good and well why I didn't help that man. Nah, I didn't see. Tell me what you saw. I didn't see. Tell me what you saw. I wasn't supposed to see what I saw. You better tell me. I saw a monster. Following them. Eating them. And I want her to tell me, no, you're wrong. That's not what you saw. Instead, she nods. But Granny, why couldn't you help him? And for the first time ever, she looks small, tired, shrunken. I don't know what that man did or who he did it to, baby. But some things you can't fix. It's a beautiful summer morning. And my parents tell me, they're packing up, gonna move away to the deep country, 200 miles away. And it makes me sad. You make me sad, and I tell them, I say, I love you. And I'm going to miss you. Boy, you coming with us. And I think that don't make no kind of sense. I don't think Granny gonna want to move to no country 200 miles. Granny ain't coming. You is. And I do. I move to the middle of nowhere, Michigan. And don't get to see Granny much. Don't get to have the songs, don't get to hear the stories. One night, I go to bed, and then right at the foot of my bed, I see my granny sitting there. Boy, how you doing? I'm good. You talk to the plants like I told you? Yes, sir. I talk to the plants, ask them. They do for you. Mm-hmm. She tells me stories about the coyote, about the fox, about the moon. She tells me that certain things skip a generation. She tells me that sometimes you gotta look deep, deep inside to find out what's out there. Uh-huh. I said, so Granny said, well, I got to go now. Where you going? Got a couple more stops to make. All right. Okay, then. In the morning, I sit on the side of the bed, weeping. My father comes in the dark, and he tells me that he got a call from my auntie in the middle of the night. My grandmother, 200 miles away, she passed away. I tell him, I know. And the look, of shock, of horror, when I say it, I know I've made a big mistake. She told me 1,000,000 times, never tell what you know, what you understand. And I know what he's thinking. He's thinking Exodus 22:18. I think maybe he's right. He didn't ask for this. Kid who talks to things that couldn't be there. Chases after bumps in the night. There's only one person I could speak to. One person I could tell the truth. You could tell that sometimes I see monsters. And he's backing away towards the door. And I know he's going to walk out. But instead, he stops. He pulls himself up. He walks over to me. He bends down, eye level. Boy, you know the stuff you talk to your granny about. You could talk to me. And this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it because it feels like he's bending a little bit. Like to say, I have to walk this way. I have to walk my path, but I understand. I understand a little bit. That you're going to have to walk yours. Big thanks to the LAS team for welcoming Spooked, John Cohn, Rebecca Stumme, Kristen, Payne, the Orpheum team. What a beautiful theater. Ryan Davis and Sarah Rose Leonard at KQED, big thanks. Jen Cobber. Jen is always doing something awesome. Comedy, TV. She's often on tour. You can find a link to all things Jen in our show notes. The original live score was done by Doug Stuart and Brijean Murphy. The recording was mixed by Miles Lassi. Now, did you go on a cruise ship and have a life-changing supernatural experience? Of course you didn't. That would be absurd. If it happens anywhere else, I would sure love to know about it. Spooked at snapjudgment.org. Because there's nothing better than a spook story from a spooked listener. Spooked at snapjudgment.org. Now, Spooked emerges in the dark of night from the underground crypts at KQED Studios. Don't seek to find the way in. That's the way in seeks to find you. Spooked is brought to you with a team that uses the Ghostbuster movies as instructional videos, except, of course, for Mark Ristich. You can scream at him till you're hoarse. He's still trying to cross streams. There's Davey Kim, Zoe Ferrigno, Eric Yanez, Elliot Lightfoot, Marissa Dodge, Teo Ducot, Miles Lassi, and Doug Stewart. And I want to thank the LAS team for welcoming Spooked, John Cohn, Rebecca Stumme, Kristen Payne, the Orpheum team. What a beautiful theater. Ryan Davis and Sarah Rose Leonard at KQED. We've got the special incantation from Spook Legal. It reads that no Snap Studios content may be used for training, testing, or developing machine learning or AI systems without prior written permission. Take that! The team Spooked. The union-represented producers, artists, editors, and engineers are members of the National Association for Broadcast Employees and Technicians, Communications Workers of America, AFL-CIO, Local 51. The Spook theme song is by Pat Mesiti-Miller. My name is Glynn Washington. And they say the Shadowlands are scary. And I'm going to guess that's true. I'm going to guess as well that the lands of shadow are other things. That they are beautiful, curious, compelling, horrifying, even funny. Really? You might ask me, bold claim, based on what? I'll tell you what it's based on. It's based on the idea that it is us and us is it. Wherever we go, there we are. Run as far as you want. Cross as many planes of existence as you wish. Wherever we are, it is as well. And as a reminder of this fundamental tenet, one thing I like to tell the kids is to never, ever, never, never, ever, never, ever, never, 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 ever turn out the light.